Hey man, welcome to the Super Divorce channel. If you think you're gonna like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up now. And if you're digging it here, go ahead and subscribe. Just make sure you bong the gong for notifications so you know when new videos go live. Now then, please look forward to this video. Enjoy, chefs. Hey man, welcome. Welcome. I haven't done a live stream in, boy, it's been at least over a month, probably, something like that. Oh man, let me see, I'm gonna pop this chat out, pop off a piece of my chat. Alright, got that all good. How are ya? How are you? How are you? If you're around here this evening, what is the evening? We're into May. How about that? Imagine that. If you're here from Comicsgate, good eve. Maybe you decided to watch this stream later. Maybe you're one of my subscribers. Trying to work this microphone situation out. I'm not using my mic of choice. That's always a bummer. Got an issue with the old, what do you call it? The audio interface. No one cares about that horse shit, do they? No, they don't. No, they don't. But, hey, you know what people care about these days? People care a lot about NFTs. There's a lot of people talking about NFTs right now. Non-fungible tokens. They're non-fungible. It means you can't funge them. You guys hear about this? You guys hear about this one? Maybe you've been following some of Cecil's Jay Leno impressions. I'm a big fan of doing Jay Leno impressions. Actually, and this goes way back. You can find this on the channel somewhere, I believe. Back when Super Divorce was a 4-piece rock and roll outfit on our podcast, the Super Divorce Supercast. I believe it was on the Super Divorce one. Might have been even further back than that. Might have been when several of those members, we were also in a group called Sleep Star Ignition. And we might have done the Jay Leno cast back then. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I listened to it. But myself and one of my other bandmates at the time, we decided to record an entire episode going back and forth with each other, just doing the Jay Leno impression. And it was probably the most obnoxious thing that most people have ever listened to, those who did hear it. We did not get good feedback on that. People get sick of Jay Leno voice very quickly. I don't. I am the type of person who loves Jay Leno impressions. If they're done badly, if they're done fantastically, it doesn't matter to me. I love hearing people make fun of Jay Leno. Going back to Conan, remember when Conan got the Tonight Show for like a few weeks? And then Jay Leno came back and was like, well, actually, Conan, I think I'd like to return to the Tonight Show. Well, they had to give the Tonight Show back to Jay. Some of you whippersnappers out there might not remember this. Maybe you weren't old enough to be paying attention. You didn't give a shit about the Tonight Show. You didn't watch Conan. I used to watch Conan religiously. It was like a routine. My wife and I would watch Conan O'Brien every single night. And especially during that late night run, or sorry, not the late night, when he was doing the Tonight Show. Passed down lineage from the great Johnny Carson. Yeah. Great television. Became even greater television when Conan found out you got to give the Tonight Show back to Jay. It's like, huh? But Jay gave it to me. No, Jay's going to come back. Jay's coming back. He wants the Tonight Show back. So, once Conan knew he was losing the Tonight Show and he had to finish his tenure before he gave it back to Jay, I can't even describe to you how great that run was. Some of the best television ever produced. No doubt about it. If you can find a compilation, there's got to be one out there. There has to be a compilation of the final days of Conan O'Brien on The Tonight Show. Of course, Jay came back and then they handed it off to Stephen Colbert, which was not a good choice. Because then it just became like a political talk show. And it wasn't funny like when Colbert did the Colbert Report back in the day. I used to love watching that. That was fun. Now he's just moralizing and grandstanding, and it's the same shit with all the late night hosts. And even Conan kind of fell into that and became super political and was like, all right, well, you know, listen, I'm no snowflake, okay? I don't care if if you want to make fun of anyone, any politician, the left, the right. They've always been fair game. You know, they used to rip on Clinton back in the day, in the 90s. Difference now is that kind of comedy, it's coming from a different place. It always feels dark. It feels nasty. It feels like people are very angry, as opposed to just kind of, I don't know, the way that they used to make fun of George W. Bush on SNL. It had this kind of light-hearted flavor to it. And same with Clinton. Same with George Bush. It always had a bit of levity. Once you get into the Trump years, I feel like people just became really, really angry. And the comedy became really nasty. Just not fun to watch. Here's the difference. Back in the day, you make fun of the president, you do it in a way where even his supporters will laugh about it. Right? That seems simple enough. I think that's pretty, that's a good target to try and hit. If you're running a comedy show, you want to appeal to as many people as possible. You don't want to be so degrading and so angry with your comedy that you drive all those people away. You want to make fun of the other side in a way that even they can laugh at it. So it's not that people on the right have no sense of humor. Of course they do. And that's a problem, not to get into the whole thing here, but I think that the whole cancel culture shit, people coming from that side, super duper SJW types, they've lost their sense of humor. They're not able to laugh at lighthearted jokes. They don't really understand that kind of humor anymore. All they can do is moralize. And they do it with the slightest bit of humor thrown in. And then they can't understand why ratings are dropping precipitously on all these late night shows, on SNL, on a lot of the sitcoms now. People just don't want to be preached to. They want to tune in, turn off, enjoy a little bit of some fun escapism for a bit. You can't really do that much anymore. We'll get back to it eventually, I think. All this stuff's going to run its course. It'll be okay. Anyway, what was I talking about? Non-fungible tokens. NFTs. You see this right here? NFTs back in the news. I created an NFT of this picture right here. I called it Day of Reckoning. I heard about NFTs and I was like, huh. Okay, what do I do? And I minted an NFT. It was up on the same website, actually, where Kevin Smith is going to be selling his, or is selling his already. I don't know. I used to be a big Kevin Smith guy, and I've kind of fallen off. I think he's kind of lost a step, unfortunately. I think maybe the weed has gotten to him. Nothing against smokers. I've partaken a few times in my life. Not a regular smoker. I don't really like it that much. Kevin Smith, he was on that Rogan interview a while back, and he was basically saying there's not an hour in the day when he is not stoned. I think that's too much. I think you got to know when to say when. You've got to be able to take a break, take a little breather. But I think I don't know. I watched Jay and Silent Bob reboot, and it just didn't hit the mark. And it was very disappointing because I love those old Kevin Smith movies. Mallrats, that's my favorite. The scene with Brody in Jay and Silent Bob reboot, just didn't feel right. But I'll keep giving him a shot. I haven't told him to go fuck himself or anything. We're good. I feel like there's like a misfire. There's a misfire with him revisiting his old View Askew stuff. Tusk, I liked Tusk. I liked Yoga Hosers. I didn't think that those were too bad. I had fun watching them, let's say that. When I was watching Jay and Silent Bob reboot, it was kind of like I said, just there's a little something off here. It's not hitting the mark. These movies need to hit the mark because you know those characters already. And when people come back in, you try and revive them. If it feels forced, it's very, very noticeable. And that's kind of the impression I got with it. Maybe next time. So, I created a Papa John NFT. And why did I do that? Everyone started talking about how these NFTs were selling, and I was like, okay, well, I'll do one for fun, just on the off chance that some millionaire, someone like Elon Musk, who's just like a shit poster but has like millions and millions of dollars to throw around, yeah, I'll make a Papa John NFT. I did this black and white digital drawing of Papa John, I don't know, a year ago. And I just had it, and I was like, what if I turn that into an NFT? So I cut it out, and then I put a big slice of Papa John's cheese pizza behind him, and I minted it, and I called it Day of Reckoning. No one bought it. I did not sell this one. So I've decided that NFTs are a complete scam. The entire thing's a ripoff, and I'm not going to be minting any more NFTs. And I would not recommend buying any. I'm not telling you not to get into crypto. I've got some crypto. I've got some stuff. I don't think I'm going to do any more NFTs. You really think about it, okay? My failure here aside. No, it's a learning experience. I learned. You think about the concept of NFTs. Think about people who are like opening NFT museums. They do this online. People can collect their NFTs and they put them on display, and others can come through and they can view them digitally. They're setting this up, I think, for VR in some cases. I actually found a couple websites that were kind of interesting that you go to, and it puts you in a virtual world like you're walking around in a video game, like in a sandbox. Not the greatest graphics. This is all like browser based, but you're walking around in this space. People can buy plots of land on the map with cryptocurrency, and then you can build whatever you want to on your plot of land. And so a lot of people are constructing little museums where they will put their NFTs on display. Some people want to set up shops, so you can go in, you can browse, and you can maybe buy NFTs while you're walking around this little virtual world. You can have apartments. You can. It's free. It's not free real estate, but it's real estate. But it's not real. It's like unreal estate. So people are doing that, and it's kind of neat to walk around some of these places. I'll be honest, that part's neat. What's not neat? If you have a big collection of NFTs. And you're like, look at all this artwork I have. Well, your power goes out, let's say. Now you've lost access to your entire art collection. That's crazy, isn't it? Isn't that crazed? Think of it. Think if you had it that way in your house. If you had a giant collection. Let's say you took these pieces out of the digital world and hung them up on your wall, but they were still connected to the internet. Maybe that'll be something people do. They probably will. Big digital displays. You can hang your painting up there. You can show off your NFT IRL, but then you lose your internet connection. Or the power goes out because it could say, oh, well, you can offload from the internet. You could store it on the device itself. That way, if you lose your connection, okay, all right, fine. What if your power goes out? Your power goes out, your entire art collection disappears. Isn't that ridiculous? Or you could buy a physical painting that's always there, a print, an original copy, what have you. That stuff stays on your wall. That's not going away. The power goes out, you can hold a candle up and still admire your fantastic art gallery that you have, that you've put together. You can't do that with NFTs. If I'm wrong, please correct me. Tell me how that would work. If I'm missing something here, you tell me. You leave a comment below and you tell me how I'm wrong. How can we power-proof and electricity-proof NFTs? If I lose access to the internet, what do I do? Or if I lose power, even if I have it on, let's say if I've offloaded onto a physical wallet, they call them. If you've got NFTs on a physical wallet, you lose access to the power in your house. You can't charge it. Your battery goes down. Now what? The damn thing's floating in the ether. No pun intended. Okay. So, Papa John. How about him? Speaking of artwork, I wanted to also share something with you. This is a drawing that I completed last evening. That I'm very proud of. Very proud of this drawing. I'm going to show you a drawing that I did. I decided to draw this. This is not my version. This is Appleseed Book 1 Volume 2. And I was looking for something to draw because I finally got my office set up. I'm ready to go. Ready to dive in and get some work done, but I wanted to test my might by doing an old-fashioned, let me find something cool that I like to look at, and I'm going to give it a stab. I'm going to try and draw it myself. So I did that with that cover over the course of 2 days and many interruptions. But I finally stayed up last night and I got it done. And let's take a look. Look what I did. That's what I came up with. That's not too bad, is it? I mean, here's the original. You can see. That's what I was modeling it after. No tracing. Whoa, look at that. Chroma key. I forgot to turn that off. I'm going to go in a little further here. There it is. This is, like I said, the cover of Appleseed. Book 1, Volume 2. And I had fun doing this one. This is Dunin and Briarios. I don't know if that's exactly how you pronounce either one. I've never watched any of the Appleseed live action, or not live action, but animated. I've never watched any of that stuff. I want to, because I've read it all now, so I feel like I probably should. I think that would be a good thing to do. But I haven't done it yet. But I sat down, I did some rough sketching, continued to flesh it out. This is probably one of the most detailed things that I've ever drawn in my life, to be quite honest with you. See, when I was back in high school, I would always start stuff like this. I would start drawing, say, the cover or a panel of Spawn, Spider-Man. Those were like the two that I read most when I was in high school. But I would start stuff a lot of times, and then I just get bored. Hit that point where I didn't want to push through. But before I even set out to do this, I was like, I'm going to finish this. Because I need to. Because I'm going to do my own book. And I'm basically putting myself through boot camp. Doing the old... This is a Todd McFarlane approach, by the way. The old Todd McFarlane approach. What is that, you might ask? He said if you want to start drawing comics, and this applies to manga as well, because that's kind of what I'm going for. I'm going for this this style. It's kind of a little bit of a throwback. The kind of Shiro style. Appleseed, Ghost in the Shell, that kind of stuff. Black magic. But I've never before now targeted one artist where I'm like, I want to learn that guy's style. I want to learn how to do what he's doing. I would like my book to look kind of like that. So that's what I'm doing. And I have no delusions here. I'm operating under no delusions that I'm going to come right out the gate with my own style. Putting that to the side. I am basically telling everyone right now, if you like this kind of thing, this is basically what I'm going to be shooting for. And I wanted to do something like this so I could show people, hey, yeah, I don't have a large catalog of different works that I've done, different commissions. I don't have an extensive history doing intricate drawings, but I have a desire to do my own book. I have a story that I've been putting together over the past like 2 years now. I have an outline for the first issue. I've got that. I have it storyboarded very roughly. But you can talk about this shit all day long. You can tell people, oh, I have a really cool story. But I feel like with comics or manga in particular, when you're dealing with a visual medium like that, you could tell people the coolest concept ever for a story. But if the art sucks, or you don't have an artist, and that's kind of a what if, well, I wonder what the art's going to be like. Or if you tell them I'm going to do the art, but I don't have anything to show you at this point, they haven't seen your skills, it's going to be a tough sell. It's going to be tough to get people excited. Not that people are going to be banging my door down because they saw this drawing, but it at least gets the ball rolling. Where I can be like, yeah, I'm inspired by Shiro. This is what I want to go for. Kind of retro manga, throwback style. And you can see I can at least mimic that. Right? Gives you a little something where you're like, okay, well, I haven't seen the guy's drawings yet. I haven't seen his designs, but there's one on there. But it seems like he's competent enough to put a page together. That's all I wanted to do. And I wanted to test myself in that capacity as well. To be like, can I sit down and just hammer this out? And it took me longer than I would have liked because kind of settling in the new office here, also taking care of kids and this kind of stuff. Haven't really gotten on my good proper routine, my schedule that I need to stick to. What that means is basically getting up early enough to have peace and quiet, to not be interrupted during the day. You got to do that. If that's when you have to get your work done, that's when you have to do it. If that means waking up at 4 a.m., it means waking up at 4 a.m., which is what it's going to come down to, I believe. I've done that for stretches at a time. I actually really enjoy waking up that early. It's not too bad. Once you get the ball rolling, you get some momentum, it feels really good. It feels really good to get the day started that way. But, yeah. So, this is what we're going to be kind of looking at with my comic book, with my manga. Stuff like this. Pages like that. That's what I want to do. Only of my things, right? The things I come up with, the things that I have come up with. I've got these ideas, I've got these things I've put down, storyboards. We're going to see how it plays out. But at least you know I can do this well. Okay? Shows you a little something. So, I don't know. More than anything tonight, I just wanted to get on here just to get back into the live streaming game, to the YouTube game. I am now less than 20 subs away from 1,000. What a climb that's been. It was rough getting to 100. And it seems like as time's gone on, some videos I have continue to do well. I've got like a stupid Jean-Claude Van Damme video that I put together that's got over 100,000 views. So you get stuff like that that continues to be watched over time. You pick up some subs from that stuff. I want to get more people, from Comicsgate in here though, who are looking forward to the book I'm going to put out, and who want to come in and hang out on live streams and that kind of shit. And I'll be talking about more comics again as we move forward, but we're getting close to 1,000, so that's pretty cool. That's a nice thing. Then I can get monetized. Wouldn't be surprised, however, if I get to 1,000 and then they're like, oh, by the way, we're going to change it. Change it up. Now you need 5,000 subs to be monetized. Seems like that's what they do. That's what YouTube likes to do. They set these goals for creators to get to, and then like once too many people get there, then they have to scooch it back a little bit. Scooch it back. Stop throwing bones to them. It's quite a bit of work if you want to run a YouTube channel. If you want to be successful. But it's been fun. It's been a fun time. I'm glad that I'm doing it. I'm glad you're watching if you're here right now. I hope you'll join me live next time. That'd be wonderful. So I think that's going to just about do it for tonight. Sat here jerking my jaw off, rambling on to myself. I don't want to do that for too long, especially after I've been away for a bit. So I'm gonna pump the brakes on this stream, and I think we're pretty much gonna wrap it up. Is what's gonna happen here. So thank you if you sat down for this, if you listened in, if you checked out my Day of Reckoning Papa John NFT, as well as my Appleseed drawing. Thank you. Hopefully you're subbed to the channel. Hopefully you've liked this video. Hopefully you'll leave a comment below with some sort of insight. I always like insights. And let me know how you feel about a future Jay Leno stream. We can I'll organize a Jay Leno stream where we'll have a panel of guests and everyone will talk like Jay Leno throughout the entirety of the whole video. That would be something fun to set up. And if you would like to partake in that, let me know. Maybe start practicing your Jay Leno impression now. Get it ready. Make it as obnoxious as possible. And we'll set up this Jay Leno stream. And maybe, if we got enough support, maybe we could get Cecil in on it. That'd be pretty cool. I've never spoken to Cecil in real life. Or, you know, via live stream. That'd be neat. That's a big name. That's a big get for a live stream. But I can't imagine anyone else has presented that idea to him yet. And he likes doing his Jay Leno voice. So maybe he'd go for it. And maybe you'd go for it. I hope you would. Will you? Let me know. Until next time, however, take real good care. Keep kicking ass. Love you lots. Lord willing, I'll be back very soon with another video for you to watch. Alright, guys. Bye-bye.